It's your selection, I am on your side, I am waiting for you to come on your side. Do we get that? So let's not dwell more into that. Second thing is, which one of the feedback for today's test was that perspectives, the questions are getting more and more challenging. So I want to tell you, master stroke with every test. I don't make tests just like combined test and all of them are given to you like wholesale. No, I keep thinking about those questions and I create questions every year and I keep on increasing the challenge also. Number one. Second is, every year the examiner also throws us a next level of challenge. UPSC is also upgrading it. So why should test series be dead in that? And when I say upgrading, UPSC is not being freak. So when you said that perspectives questions were challenging, I'm very, very sure all of you, when you read the question, you said, oh, I know something about it. I think I can do something about it. But when it comes to writing, that's where the challenge comes. So I am not into freak questions, I am not into strange questions, I am not into unrealistic questions just to show that you don't know anything. I am into questions that will give you that optimum challenge, that come on, let's play this game and let's see whether we won this game or not. So today in this whole test of 7 questions, out of which you have to do only 5, I am going to discuss only the perspectives questions. The other parts of the discussions will be uploaded as videos. So my request is that let this be an opportunity. Let this be an opportunity of you to break free of the fear and barrier of scoring in perspectives in human geography. If you had attended the special session on perspectives, there also I added one very important idea of how to use perspectives as and when needed, rather than in a deterministic way where some teacher has told you or some book has told you to do it in a particular way. You can choose. You can choose. On the Telegram group also today, I have posted one wrong, forcefully inserted context in an answer. So the question was, how deforestation produces geomorphic changes. So geomorphic consequences. Now this fellow wants to somehow wants to show that FAO has given a state of forest report on deforestation. Yes, definitely. FAO comes up with the state of global forests, and that report, which is generally published every 5 years, tells us what is the state of forest. It is a very resource and environment centered report. It's a resource. Forest is a resource, so it is telling us, it is assessing, FAO is assessing what are the resources, and it is environment centric because it is trying to tell us that what is the cause, concern of deforestation and trying to wake us up on that. Perfect. But now the question was, in physical geography, the geomorphic effects. So when the question is not on deforestation, please understand it's a geomorphology question, it is about geomorphic effects, you have to look at that. Now FAO report is not the appropriate context. But then remember, there are some people who think that if they put some current affairs, and I want to tell you, even the state of forest report is no longer current affairs. अब तो पुरानी हो चुकी है यार. तो ये GS वाले पैंतरे बंद करो. Do not try these gimmicks. And your context itself shows us your wisdom, your preparedness. Otherwise, the pretense starts showing up. Get that? So my request is, get the context. So yes, the perspectives questions, the bar has been raised, but they are not freak questions. I will be just taking you through all those questions, and in fact they would require some concept clarity. So when we are starting our discussion on perspectives question, I want to tell you 1A, 1E, 2A, 3B, 4A, 5A, 5E, 6A, 6B and 7A are perspectives. When I say about 6B, 6B is systems approach. I want to tell you, systems approach is not just perspectives. In quantitative revolution, we had a systems analysis. Yes or no? So systems approach can be seen even bigger than perspective. So don't get stuck onto that. Don't get the quantitative revolution idea only over there. Now I want to tell you, I was looking at the previous year's questions, and for very long UPSC was in a format that in a particular question they were disciplined enough that if it is a question on geomorphology, all 3 parts are geomorphology. If it's a question on population, all 3 parts are population. If it's a question on settlement, all parts are settlement. But nowadays UPSC has changed it. So it will insert any question anywhere. In this way, what becomes a very big challenge is that choice which we were offered, that we had to do any 5 out of 8, that choice has been effectively diluted. Because the idea of leaving certain topics and thinking, okay, let's leave perspective because I'm not strong at it. Let's leave, like economic models and theories, I'm not strong at it. Well, it may compromise. It may compromise other questions also. So that is my first advisory to all of you. Second advisory to all of you, and especially in perspectives question, I just asked you all a question, what comes to your mind when you see a perspectives question? And there are people who are writing that what comes to my mind is the definition. Okay, the definition. There are people who are writing that I want to see chronologically where did this paradigm come. Okay, perfect. You are talking about where did this paradigm come. That also is perfectly okay. Third is, I would look at the thinkers and scholars of this paradigm. Perfect. That's also very good. So I don't know if your teachers have told you, if your books have told you, what I am reading from your comments is, sir, I will try to define, I will see, do I know the definition or not? Second is, what are the phases and which phase of geographical evolution is this from and who are the thinkers? And third is that what models do I know or something of that sort. Okay, perfect. I am absolutely okay with this. I personally feel there are two very big pitfalls of perspective runs. Most students are doing this and most students are missing on a very, very important thing. Most students are trying to be a descriptive storyteller. Why? Because the teacher or the book, I'm not saying a teacher only, I'm saying teacher or books are written in a chronological sequence. Then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. And in the process, the teacher or the book is able to showcase many things. And again and again, the teacher draws a timeline. Why is the teacher drawing a timeline? Because the teacher is teaching. The teacher is teaching and teacher is trying to establish where this happened. Perfectly okay. Good for teaching. Good for writing a book. The book author says, so as discussed in that chapter where we had talked before, see, let's look at this. So he also is having a scheme on that. My dear friends, you are not a teacher, you are not a writer. You are not given the task of expounding the entire evolution of geography. You are given the task of answering a specific question. That's number one. So, when I get answers, there are students who are unnecessarily putting a timeline again and again. So, but my teacher told me, sir, the topper said I did this. I am a teacher. I have many toppers who have never done this and have got good scores. And I will ask you after this discussion, was there a need to do this? Was there a need to do this? Hear that? Another person said that in those discussions, sir, I will define. If they have asked you to define, then define. If they have asked you to define, then define. If they have not asked you to define, why would you define? So the topper said, every time you should define. Perfect. Define. But why every time? And I want to tell you that anything, just imagine, like you're watching a movie. Whenever a character comes, does the first definition comes? Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. It is not very creative. It's not very innovative. I don't know how many of you attended. My essay lecture where I had brought in that circular issued by Labasna on essay writing, where it clearly says writing general things which are known to all or writing things which others have told you is hardly any intellectual work. They don't give much value to that. But yes, you are able to innovate on that. Make it a living definition. Makes sense. So dead definitions don't make sense. Make it a living definition, your own definition. Very good, I am with you. Second is the quantitative revolution trap. What is this? So tell me, there is a very big criticism of quantitative revolution. If you are a geography student who knows a little bit about quantitative revolution, they tried to put everything in a model. Whatever was not quantifiable, that was assumed constant, and everything was made into a model. And soon we found those models did not work. you have heard, you write it in your answers that those mechanical or mechanistic models did not apply in reality. Now I want to tell you, you students have access to books, teachers and notes, but you don't have access to yourself. So when the question comes, you already know that I have to somehow fit this. Why? Because my teacher told, ko aata hai, if you know the answer, you will be able to write. If you don't know the answer, no matter what you've memorized, you will end up doing the QR trap, that whatever you know, you'll try to fit in and make that answer. That's the biggest trap of. Let me come back, and I want to tell you that trap I will show you. I will show you through samples that how people are getting into that trap of either first writing the sequence, which is not required and which rather looks very, very, I think, signifier of ignorance or fear of the student, and second is how they try to forcefully fit things. Okay, perfect. My question is, if geography is the study of, let me show it through questions and answers, so there is no other way. And I really want everyone who's listening to me, listen with open mind, listen with you gaining something out of it. So I want answers to this question, to the questions which I have raised. I don't want the answer to the question which is there 1A. So 1A was, if geography is the study of difference space makes, Kant can certainly lay claims to being a geographer. First thing, you told me that when you read a question, you think where is the question coming from? You think who are the thinkers over there? You think what is the definition? I don't think that. Sorry, I don't think that. I look at why is this question asked. So this is, if geography is the study of different space makes, Kant can certainly lay claim to being a geographer. Yeah. This is about Kant being a geographer. This question is about Kant's credentials as a geographer. So the context is Kant's credential as a geographer. So who was Kant? Everyone, who was Kant? And how was he related to geography? Can you see this? Who was Kant? How is he related to geography? Think about it. First thing that comes to your mind, I would request you, keep a pen and pencil with you as you are listening to me. And if your answer is exceptionalism, oh, Kant was the father of exceptionalism and he propounded whatever, I'm sorry, your geographical thought knowledge is just restricted to some classes, some notes. Very, very sad. No, Kant is not exceptionalism. Kant is much bigger than that. Okay, let's come to the question. Is this question descriptive or analytical? See, I don't look at which phase. You are thinking which phase. I don't look at that. Is this a neutral question or an opinionated question? And if this is an opinionated question, what is the opinion, if any? I will not answer this question. I will first look at the question. What is this question? Understand the question? No. First thing, nobody wrote, when I asked you when you look at the question, nobody said understand the question. What you said was, I will look at which phase has it come from, I will draw the chronology and look at that. No, absolutely not. Is this question about describing Kant's work? Are we supposed to describe Kant's work? Are we supposed to describe Kant's work? Your teacher would have told you that Kant divided all knowledge, logical sciences, physical sciences, history is chronological, geography is chronological. I also teach this to my students. If you are my student, have I taught you this? Is this question asking you that? No, it is not asking that. So this question is not descriptive. This question is analytical. Analyze something. Analyze something. And when I say analyze something, why and how is asked. But what is to be analyzed? It is to be analyzed whether Kant is a geographer or not. So it is not a neutral question, it is an opinionated question. And what is the opinion? Negative opinion. It says Kant is not a geographer. Please understand the question. Question has got nothing to do with your dictations, nothing to do with your chronology. Question says Kant is not a geographer in the true sense. If geography is the study of the difference space makes, then only Kant is a geographer, otherwise he is not a geographer. If you did not understand this question, what would you think about it? And what do I have to do? Substantiate. Substantiate means prove it. Prove with substance. That is Kant a geographer? Kant is a conditional geographer. Sir, this though I have never read, I just read exceptionalism. Why, I never asked you that question. The question is not about phases of geography. The question is not about, everyone, there are so many people who will start the answer with Strabo, with Ptolemy, with Ibn Khaldun, with, who's this, kya naam hai iska? Nathaniel Carpenter, God knows what, Sebastian Minster, क्यों डालेगा वो? और फिर कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा तो then we'll jump to Varenius, Ritter, Humboldt, your favorite Ratzel, Semple and Otto Schlüter, yes, Hettner, फिर सब मारेगा, जो नाम आता है मारो. The question is not asking that. And what are the tools to substantiate? कैसे substantiate करोगे बच्चों? Arguments. This is what the question is. Is everyone okay? First of all, when you look at the perspective question, yeah, simple thing, understand it. What would you define here? Somebody said, sir, I'll define. What would you define? What would you define? Space. Would you define space? Oh, please don't do that. It's not asked. It's not asked. Would you define what's a geographer? Don't. Would you define exceptionalism? Don't. Not asked. What is asked? If geography is the study of different space makes, then Kant is certainly a geographer. So he is certainly a geographer if space is important. Then what is Kant? Do we know who's Kant? I want to tell you, Kant is a philosopher. Kant is a philosopher. But he did something. He did something that earned him the credentials of a geographer also. And what did he do? He highlighted space. He highlighted the importance of space. He highlighted the importance of space and that spatial reading of things. And that is why he brought in the philosophical foundation to the discipline. Is everyone clear? So first of all, we must be very, very clear. Question देखकर करना क्या है? Don't run away from it here. Don't look at which frame. So you'll say, there was this, classical or pre-classical period. Then there was this. अरे भाई, कांट को जितना भी कर लो, कांट को बहुत गाली दी जाती है. For anything you can blame Kant. But Kant was doing something very, very different. So the question is Kant a geographer? If space is important, yes, then Kant is a geographer, but has to be looked into this. Now will come answer writing skill. If you have, you will write it. If you don't have it, you will miss it. Get that? Interested in knowing the answer? I'll take you, as I said, this is a perspective class. This will give you clarity. Whatever your status, article padhate hain from Kant. Very beautiful. Would you be interested in reading this? Something very, very interesting. At University of Königsberg, Immanuel Kant lectured on a variety of topics, including both philosophical and non-philosophical topics. The lecture course was often well attended. They were widely discussed outside the classroom, and we have many of them in the form of student transcripts as well as from some of Kant's own manuscripts or lecture notes. So Kant के भी notes हैं भाई. Kant के notes हैं. In fact, Kant's work is known only through his notes, and which students have written. That is why its authenticity at times is also lost. Kant's lectures on logic, metaphysics and ethics are well known part of complete works and are invaluable to the knowledge and understanding. However, Kant also gave courses. Everyone please understand, like I give you courses on physical geography, human geography. So he had two courses running, anthropology and physical geography. Geography was usually offered in the summer semester and anthropology was given in the winter. So in a year he would talk on philosophy, and in summers he would talk on geography, and in the winters he would talk on anthropology 49 times in 40 years. Every year he would give this. 49 times he has given his lectures, and for frequently any of the other topics on logic and metaphysics. So what was he doing in geography? Let us look at what was he doing in geography. Why did Kant lecture on geography? Everyone, very, very important, I have highlighted it for you. Although it became one of his most popular and best attended courses, and this initially for a paid course, Wilson is valuable in tracking. Wilson is a commentator on Kant, the changing objective of geography lectures, suggesting that initially he was talking pure science, purely scientific, that is to make a more certain knowledge of believable travel accounts and to make them into legitimate academic course of study. So till that, geography was not a course of study and people were just giving travelogues. But the popularity of the course meant that Kant could begin to suggest that their aim could be to civilize young students to become citizens of the world. Zamito has similarly shown how the lectures are related to anthropology. The anthropology and physical geography lectures are thus not primarily intended to as further contributions to Kant's philosophy. A major portion of Kant's teaching activity was devoted to try to enlighten his students more about people and world around them. Just that. Anthropology and geography are thus intersecting halves, and you will be surprised. I want to read this something. Kant suggested that the two lecture courses were Weltkenntnis, anthropology plus physical geography. He had two courses and they were Weltkenntnis, which you usually translate into world knowledge. So Kant was not a geography teacher, and I also want to tell you, please understand, anthropology is human, physical geography is nature. Together they make what? World. So he is a philosopher. He is a philosopher and he feels people. He feels people should know the world, where things are. So he started teaching geography, and his geography had everything. His geography was not just physical geography. His geography had many, many things. Let's come back to his geography. If I look at that, he was giving lectures. Imagine, very first to lecture before universities had chairs. So before university courses were there in geography, this guy was lecturing on geography. His book Physical Geography mentioned something about geomorphology, oceanography, climatology and even fauna and flora. Get that? He was talking about islands, earthquake, volcanoes, all those things, and seafaring. He was more scientific. It was moral, it was political account and included human beings. He tried to provide a geographical perspective to a range of social, cultural, physical phenomena. He wrote physical geography. Yes, his geography had mathematical geography, moral geography, political geography, commercial geography, theological geography, and all for what? World knowledge. So he is not a hardcore geographer. He is not a hardcore geographer. He just did something. He just did something which made geography acquire something. So to that extent he is a geographer. And what did he do? You will tell me. जल्दी से बताइए क्या किया था? What did Kant do? The task of geography is essentially Kantian. What did he do to earn the credentials of a geographer? I have just thrown a puzzle at you. I am not giving you the answer, everyone. I have thrown a puzzle at you. I will give you the answer also. So what had Kant done that he can be called a geographer? I told you, he is a philosopher. He is a philosopher. Every year he gives a course of geography and anthropology. What is his intention? His intention is all his students should have world knowledge. He is a person in the 17th century where he is talking, in the 1700s, where he is talking much before university courses began in geography. So what did he do? What was so special? Quickly tell me, what did he do? And then our answer is created. What did Kant do? Quickly. So he gave the philosophical foundation to geography. How, Snehal? Kalyani says, got the question wrong and so ended up writing the description. Okay, Kalyani, I am saying many people will get this question wrong. They will not. Dinu says, he classified empirical knowledge. Okay, perfect. He said geography is spatial science. Very good, Muzammil. See, all of you are writing, absolutely you are talking it correct. Okay, Ritvik, sir, Kant is a proponent of regionalism and areal differentiation. Please, yaar, areal differentiation thi bhi nahi udhar. Ritvik, you are just, I think your learning of perspective is only from coaching. He was purist in his approach, master task of gathering knowledge and adopted gathering all matrices and characteristics of a place and their empirical data should be recorded. Hence, as per statement, Kant can certainly, writing a last sentence, hence as per statement, Kant can certainly claim to be a geographer with a areal difference. Such people. So after this discussion, I get to listen that Kant was a geographer because he did areal differentiation. This article has been particularly picked up, reading Kant's geography. The person is reading Kant's geography. In summary, we attempt to show that Kant's work on geography is not simply a minor concern but a key topic that needs to be taken more seriously. While much of the details of his lecture may be outdated, hello guys, the geographer says they are outdated, therefore merely historical interest, Kant's way of structuring geographical knowledge and its relation to his thought as a whole is potentially the enduring importance. So, structuring geographical knowledge. So, what did Kant do? Kant was not a geographer, but he did structuring of geographical knowledge. Now, it's very shameless that the word did not exist. Okay, everyone, just imagine. Have you heard this thing, like Chief Minister of Tripura, I think, he said, Mahabharat had internet. It is like saying Kant was a proponent of areal differentiation. Everyone, you've heard of that statement? Mahabharat had internet? I don't know what that statement meant. That simply said that, the war of Mahabharat was recited to the king. Yes, recited to the king by his charioteer who could see. उसके पास दिव्य दृष्टि थी. आपने अगर दूरदर्शन पे धारावाहिक देखा हो तो बाबा ने ऐसे लाइट भेजी थी एंड उससे सब दिखता था. महाभारत had internet. So when somebody says Kant was a proponent of areal differentiation, therefore he was a geographer, all of you, can you see how dangerous coaching can be? In reality, this is Kant. Kant's way of structuring geographical knowledge is enduring. The importance lies both in the way he understands geography and counterbalances to history in terms of organization of knowledge. Again, all perceived things are located as per classification in space and time. So, classifying things in space and time. Space and time. Space is geography, time is history. So, everyone, this is coaching. You attended probably 20 lectures on this, 25 lectures on this, and I am just giving you half an hour on this. This is Kant from real academic sources. Yep. Can I say areal differentiation and Kant are not related? No, I cannot say that is wrong. Then you will go to the teacher and then the teacher will say, okay, only I know. Who says our areal differentiation is 100% Kant? I am saying internet is 100% Mahabharat bhai. Whosoever you are, and not one यार, मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ इधर. So मैं तो कह रहा हूँ भाई, this is what research scholars are talking about. Logically deal with this. Geography therefore allows us to access the ordering and categorization of the world. Indeed, Kant distinguishes geography as description of whole world from topography. Description of whole world. Okay, perfect. What else is this fellow saying here? Kant is this description of single places, this thing, or hydrography? The further translation of these lectures provide an opportune moment to take stock of the historical importance. Yes, the availability of material is a problem. Those reading that translation need to be aware, least key something blah blah. State University of New York, 2011, not very far off. Last line padhe. Thus, issues raised by these texts of Kant's textual, linguistic, philological, hermeneutic, philosophical and political, even as we consider their relation to geography and wider history. Only a multidisciplinary, multi-handed approach can do justice to the complexity, and this book is somewhere there. So guys, should we write areal differentiation? Everyone. Guys, should we write that Kant is a geographer because he was a proponent of areal differentiation? Do you agree now? Do you agree? Mahabharat had internet. Do you agree? Mahabharat had internet. Because otherwise, how could he relay what was happening in the war to the king? King Dhritarashtra was given live commentary. Yes or no? Live commentary. Why Kant had nothing to do with areal differentiation? Yes. When we look at areal differentiation, because it is talking about description, did I write this here? Description of the world. So therefore, today, maybe some link of areal differentiation can be rooted there. But he is not talking about that. That's very, very sad. So everyone, what would the answer be? If geography has something to do with space, then Kant is a geographer. That is the question you have to substantiate. Get that? I'll say geography was largely a travelogue till Kant lectured on it as a part of world knowledge. So people were just describing travelogue. It was like a travel book. Get that? Kant lectured on it as a part of his world knowledge. I just showed you what is world knowledge. The geography is essential. He found geographical learning very unorganized, and geography not accepted amongst the discipline worth studying in post-Newtonian age. So people who have been my students, I don't take faltu ki class. With the coming of Newton after the age of exploration, Newton very clearly established that anything worth studying or any discipline must have an area of inquiry or must have a scientific method. Then only it is worth studying. Geography neither had an area of inquiry nor had a methodology, because it was just descriptive. So it was thrown out of the streams. So two things he found. First, geography data was unorganized, and second, geography was not accepted. So what did he do? He first organized geography into physical geography, moral geography, mathematical geography, commercial geography. People who don't know, I just showed you इधर, ये देखो उसी ने बनाया. Physical geography, mathematical, moral, political, commercial, theological geography. This is what he did. Okay, number one. Second thing, what he did, he classified all knowledge into two categories: logical sciences and physical sciences. In logical sciences was physics, chemistry, biology, economics. In physical sciences, he says science that does with space and science that reads all phenomena in time. So this was geography, this was history. For this reason, it is said that he gave philosophical foundation to the discipline of geography. Students who want to know more on that, on my YouTube channel Success Space, there is a full lecture on Kant. Please read that, listen to that. What did Kant do? And here, it is because of this word space, he earned the credential of a geographer. जाए space पे वापस question पढ़े. Let's read the question. If geography is the study of different space makes, because before that, what is this? The difference the space makes. Difference space makes. So space, studying biology in space, studying physics in space, and what was this? Difference time makes. And third thing is here, which I have written for all of you, that he was into description of world. Description of world. Description of world. So when you are describing world knowledge, where? Chorological. Remember, geography is chorological. This also makes him a geographer. Now remember, my question was, everyone, substantiate. Number one, have I substantiated it? Number two, have I substantiated it? Number three, have I substantiated it? He first organized geography like this. Where? He looked at physical geography, moral, mathematical, commercial, and then looked at that. Then he found that geography material was not organized. First he organized the material. All of you are preparing for mains. You want all things at one place, very well structured, no? So that is first thing he did. Second thing, he saw that geography doesn't have a respect of a discipline. So he said, let me give it a special status. Today, in today's, when you conclude, you can say, today's scholars, modern scholars or subsequent scholars blame him for things like exceptionalism, things like division of all knowledge, or he can be seen as a precursor of modern day concepts of area. My question was to substantiate, was he a geographer? To what extent? Yes, he was a geographer to this extent. And sir, he was a geographer because, अरे यार एक बहुत सिंपल सा वो आइडिया आता है, बहुत क्या है इसका नाम, वॉन थ्यूनन. precursor or early works or evidences of quantification in geography. Now everyone listening to me, how many of you would say that von Thunen is the initiator of geography? Is the initiator of Areal differentiation. Sorry, not areal differentiation, my mistake, QR. How many of you would agree with this? That von Thunen is the starter of QR. Did von Thunen know anything about QR? He is in 1830s, yes? 1830 or bhi purana. And who is this QR? 1950s. Yes or no? So just think here. If von Thunen is not the initiator of QR, how could you say that Kant was the proponent of areal differentiation? Just imagine where the error is. If I say that in the works of von Thunen some preliminary quantification is evident, absolutely correct. Statement English, absolutely correct. But he was the initiator of QR in geography. इन्होंने सांख्यिकी क्रांति की, ये इसके जनक थे, ऐसा नहीं है भाई. चलिए, ये तो मेरा आंसर हुआ. लेट अस लुक एट व्हाट पीपल आर राइटिंग. नो, आप लोग भी तो आंसर लिखते हैं. देखें क्या आंसर लिखते हैं. सो लेट अस लुक एट द आंसर कमिंग ओवर हियर. So this person in 1A, no? See the first question itself. That is why I said perspectives answer itself will be a very, very big discussion. So the person leaves blank. It is very normal we will get blanks in perspective answers. And this is your first answer. You had a chance to connect with the examiner. You had a chance to really show him that I don't write this. Varna areal differentiation wale to bahut aayenge na champion. Let us look at this person. Immanuel Kant was an epistemologist. Bhai kaun hota hai epistemologist? Do you know what is epistemology? Epistemology is theory of knowledge. Epistemology is theory of knowledge. He was an epistemology, theek hai? In the 17th century, he organized the field of knowledge into logical and physical science. Oh, sahi bola yaar. Ye bhi abhi humne kiya na. Logical science and physical science. Very good. I am absolutely okay with this. This person is absolutely correct. First sentence is correct. But my question is, why the context is not there? Then, if geography is seen as orderly description of the surface of the earth, then Hartshorne said, अच्छा तो Hartshorne लेकर आ गया, ये तो नहीं चाहिए था. But anyways, he is using the support that Hartshorne said that task of geography is essentially Kantian. So he is supporting that Kant is a geographer. Okay, that's also okay. But substantiate, no, my dear friend. Substantiate, you are absolutely correct. Now I am looking for substance. Given the importance of space in the field of geography, Kant can be described as a geographer who laid the role of geography in his exceptionalism. But what is this sentence? I don't understand. Where geography is considered exceptional science because of it is concerned with description. Hello, you've already told me here that when knowledge was organized into logical and physical sciences, geography was given a special status. That is exceptionalism. You've written only one point and all these paras are just the same. So this person has nothing to tell us except for point number 2. Is everyone okay with that? Point number 2. I want to tell you, most people जो आता है उसको जबरदस्ती घुसाएंगे. QR trap. You will just fill up those things. Okay, let's move further. Let's see what he has done in the second page. Geography is a discipline concerned with space, has a necessarily chorological follows a regional approach. This approach was propounded by Kant. Are you are saying the same thing, bhai? Where is the argument? In geography as a discipline concerned with spatial difference, possibilism comes to crucial aspect of man environment. Bhai sahab hi ganja liye hue bahut tagda wala. Possibilism becomes crucial aspect of man. This highlighted by Kant in his Noumena and Phenomena. भाई साहब मार डाला. मैंने कहा ना, the coffin is ready. कुछ भी मारेगा. Coffin is ready, Noumena and Phenomena. Thus, if geography is a spatial study, then Kant is described as the pioneer. Hi guys, pioneer. भाई मेरे पास pioneer नहीं है. For me, this fellow just laid this. Number 1, what did he lay? Philosophical foundation. I am sorry, he was pioneer or not, he laid the philosophical foundation because there was a big identity crisis of the discipline. He organized also geography. and he gave us the descriptive chorological approach. Chorological is description of space. So yes, if space is important, then he definitely is a geographer. Everybody, ending question 1A, your learning in this. Please put that learning. क्या लिख रहे हो बच्चों? So now we are talking about 1E. Everyone, one very important thing which I want to talk about is word limit. My experience is that short notes are a bigger challenge. Why are they a bigger challenge? You have to say all in less words. Say all in less words. So here also, as I told you, see, I always try to show that how would the answer go. How would the answer go? My intention is always to show you how would the answer go so that you can get a feel of the answer. ये 2 पेज में लिखना है यार, इसी को expand करना है. You have to expand this only. You should have substantive points in that. Now I am saying you cannot just be descriptive. Just 2 pages. Here you will not have content shortage. If you are adequately prepared, serious shortage will come in long answers. There you will have to learn to expand. But otherwise it's a challenge. So that is why I am talking about this Peter Haggett and Hagerstrand when we are talking about what has to be kept in mind. So everyone, pay attention. I don't know what comes to your mind. Here, bring out the contribution of either, very important. You will be surprised. I'll show you an answer where the person has written on both. This is only fear. Can you see there is a choice? Choice between 2 scholars. Who are these? Peter Haggett and Tor Hagerstrand. Both are popular. Trust me, the examiner is using mostly popular. He will not use strange ones. No. He is not going to use strange ones. He is going to use popular ones only. And the good part is that both of them belong to the same phase, geography as a science. So what is geography as a science? QR phase. Does everyone get your first para? I am into answer writing. I am into scoring high in perspective. First para. Geography's journey from a descriptive discipline to a scientific spatial inquiry. Had contributions from various scholars. Peter Haggett was a leading figure from British geographical universities. Done. Or if you are talking about Tor Hagerstrand, was from the Swedish geographical universities. Is everyone okay with that or not? His main contributions, now please get that. Explain the context. To what extent do we stretch geography as a science of theme? So now there will be some people who would write QR pe 3 paras. Don't do that. Do not explain QR. This question is not QR. Bring out the contributions. Just that, 1 para is enough. You want to expand this, only first para. Expand, but only first para. Now you have to go to thinkers. So you have to choose anyone. So my idea is go from general to particular. Peter Haggett gave broadly these ideas and under these ideas he gave this. Do we get that? Sir, I don't know much about his ideas. Do you know locational analysis? So I am saying, if you don't know much about it, can you say model making? Can you say locational analysis? इतना कर ले, इसको हटा देते हैं, इसको क्वेश्चन मार्क कर देते हैं. मॉडल मेकिंग तो आएगा. Same will happen for Hagerstrand. What will Hagerstrand do? Everyone? Hagerstrand. Model making. What was this? Diffusion of innovation. Diffusion theory. And third is space-time. Do we have the answer, everyone? And then in model making we can add things. In diffusion we can add things. And in space we can add things. Answer writing will happen only when you know what perspective is. If you don't have perspective, ऐसे ही छाप के बैठे हो, रट के बैठे हो, नहीं होने वाला. Is everyone okay with this? Now what are these? You don't know much about it. I'll talk about this. Model making में क्या है? Use of mathematics, use of geometry, use of models, use of computer, use of empirical data, use of observation. ये दोनों पे apply होगा. Will this apply or not? Both of them will apply. Locational analysis, tell us about locational analysis. How one location is important with respect to others. For this, what are we going to do? We will have in model making you can bring in the idea of positivistic also. Yes, in this we will have certain variables and we will do a quantitative analysis of them, and he used a lot of geometry of networks, of nodes, internodes and everything that we will write. Diffusion, you can draw the graph of diffusion, early diffusion, then peak and then reduction in diffusion. For space-time you can talk about the space-time prism that he has drawn, if you have some idea. That has to go over there. How would the answer look like? Let me see, how would the answer look like? Intro, I just told you QR based intro, that will go over there. Then his works, first work is what? Model making. In model making, A, B, C, D. Second work, locational analysis. And when we are doing locational analysis, give a case study or a model. If you don't have anything, you can give some industry location model. Industry location model. This is Haggett. Third, if you have something about his diffusion waves, if you know about it, you can. And here you can say QR. You will end on QR. That's the answer. Something has to come over here. Something has to come over here. You want more marks? You want more marks? Add something over here. His books and works. You can add here also. Books and works. This will give you marks. Sir, I did not know much, so I'll leave it. So my job to give you content also. Is everyone okay? This was my first answer. This was my first answer, where I'll talk about Kant, where I also gave you conclusion, and here I have come. And this is where we are. We are talking about Peter Haggett, and if we were talking about, say for example, Hagerstrand, in Hagerstrand, first I will take it model, second I will say diffusion of innovation. Here I will put the diagram of diffusion of innovation, and number 3, what will be there? Space, time, geography. I will make the space time prisms also over here, or space time path, STP. We will make that. Well, that has to be prepared here. I said you need to prepare. And I also want to tell you that most of you know many things, but you really don't know what to write in that. So you are going to ask, you are being asked about the leading contribution. So this is the leading contributions. So everyone, please, I want to add something here. Radical transformation. So what is the context? From idiographic we became nomothetic. Yes, Peter Haggart and Hagerstrand, they were big contributors. To fully appreciate Haggett, go general to particular and use survivor kit. What is survivor kit? Minimum you know about QR in general can also be used. This is the survivor kit. So anything related to a scholar from QR, from a paradigm, you can use the generic things to fill up some space associated with that. Peter Haggett. So remember, general, three things, three main fields. Geographical epistemology, he talked about nature of geography. Second is he talked about method of geography, where he talked about locational analysis and system analysis. And third is applied geography, where he made it happen. I have a quote also, everyone. If the goal of geographical studies be accepted as the formulation of laws and areal arrangement of and a prediction based on those laws, then it is inevitable that their techniques must become considerably more objective and more quantitative than heretofore. This is Peter Haggett quote. Please keep those quotes with you. You can add those quotes. You can add those quotes also. Yes, some of his famous works, Models in Geography. Geography, a global synthesis. If you don't remember much, ये लिख लो, just Models in Geography. Locational Analysis in Geography, ये भी उसी की book है. Haggett attempted to develop a new form of synthesis, so spatial analysis. Get that? Ecological analysis, regional complex. You don't know this? No problem. Extra content from master stroke. Get that? Second area was his quantitative method. First though was reading geography. First area was about geography as a discipline. Yes. So he gave locational analysis used in models in economic geography. Model as a bridge between observational and theoretical levels. Reduction, concretization, experimentation, action. I am not adding to it. Locational analysis, if you don't know much about it, often referred to as spatial science. So this approach to human geography led to geography becoming a spatial science. He adopted a systems approach. He used quantitative procedures. He used statements about locational order, and his second famous book is Locational Models, Locational Methods and Network Analysis in Geography. Third area, what did he do? Now this one I want everyone to see this, especially diffusion waves. He studied diffusion waves. I have deliberately put this question. Diffusion of how infectious diseases grow. So here you can use Peter Haggett. Peter Haggett is a very, very important person who is talking about geography of disease. He is talking about spatial diffusion of diseases, atlas of disease, island epidemics, deciphering global epidemics. I hope you got a hint why am I talking about global epidemics. If you want, you can always talk about COVID. You can always talk about COVID and relate Peter Haggett to it. You did not know this. This is additional information for you. This is additional information. If you are talking about Hagerstrand also what? He developed scientific methodology in geography. This is general thing. iconic influence on population geography and diffusion model, number 1, and number 2 is space and time geography. What were his works? His works are innovation diffusion as a spatial process. एक book तो याद कर लो, space, time and human conditions. 2 books, please memorize 1 and 2. Hagerstrand diffusion model represents an interaction matrix and suggests how information fields travel. So there is a U curve like this. Stages of this thing, 4 stages, just like birth or incipient, mature and stagnant. So have to look at the book for this, a very simple popular one, and then space-time path or space-time prism. You can make a path or a prism, whichever you want. Intellectual conceptual tools, studying human activities in space and time. What will happen? Scale is involved, data is involved, and you can see quantitative methodology. I told you, point 1 QR. Point number 1. Time geography recognizes humans as spatial temporal limitations. So, spatio temporal work. Where was he from? Swedish geographer. That's all. Sir, if I don't know much about it, yes, all the students who wrote, when I asked you in the very beginning that what do you know about it, please use this survivor kit. What is the survivor kit? You know a lot about QR, no? Data, nodes, internodes, geometry, diagrams, use them. That will also give you marks. I am not asking you to blindly mug up things. I am saying you will understand things. If you know something, because these 2 people belong to that era, so that is there. You can say their work helped geography become a spatial science, but real world applicability had limitations. This is where you will end this answer. 2 short notes, not much to write, you have little information. Short notes can always be optimized, and students who are not optimizing short notes, you are missing a very, very big opportunity. So that's my suggestion. Let us look at this person. Peter Haggett was a geographer during the QR phase who developed the concept of locational analysis. So this was an opportunity of context which was missed. Haggett's locational analysis involved evaluation of spatial arrangement of geographical phenomena. It involved use of mathematical tools, followed positivistic approach. Haggett thus carried forward logical positivism. So I think the first part of quantitative part that should have been used here. I would say rather than paragraph, it would be good if the person could have used it with points and some diagrams. Locational analysis of Haggett helped geographers incorporate the locational triad of economics. Okay, taken, but why not shown as proper diagram? Haggett's locational analysis also furthered the concept of system analysis. Thus, Haggett contributed. So, I think this person's answer has limited content, and the structuring is also weak. The content is limited, structuring is weak. Very average or lower than average marks will be given. Let's look at this third answer. Both Peter Haggett and Tor Hagerstrand played a crucial role in quantitative paradigm. Okay, so we don't have to talk about both anyways. Tor Hagerstrand gave the concept of time geography. Human decisions are not made within space, but time is also a factor. Many geographers like D.M. Smith who contributed towards historical geography. Later his ideas inspired D.M. Smith. Okay, perfect. So the first idea has come is this is there. Second, Hagerstrand idea of diffusion of innovation. Okay, Hagerstrand gave the innovation. This is there. However, the contribution of Peter Haggett could also not be ignored as he gave the concept. So I don't know why this person is in the guilt that he or she has not written Peter Haggett. ये तो पूछा ही नहीं. I think limited content. This person will also get around 35 to 40% or rather 35% because of the errors he has made in the first and the last paragraph. So that's my marks. So I was feeling a little cold, so I had to change over to something more. Okay. So first of all, get the context. The context is two things: spatial tradition. Everyone, you know, this is QR. So the question says QR continues, though only one of the many. The context is QR is still relevant, but geography as a discipline is much bigger. Not a neutral question. This question is going to ask you to do this, that why QR is still relevant. But moment I bring in but, a critical element comes. But geography is much bigger, increasingly pluralistic field. So is it neutral or is it saying QR is not enough? That's an opinion, that's a comment. When I look at your answer and I say this is not enough, that's a comment. Neutral is, yeah, okay, you know something, you should know something more. थोड़ा है, थोड़े की ज़रूरत है. No. ये है नहीं यार. Your content is not there, you're talking big things. Very, very clear on that. Get that? Is this question descriptive or analytical? Obviously, this is not descriptive here. This is purely analytical. You will have to simplify. First is elucidate, you will have to simplify. Opinionated, yes. Strategy is 4 pages. So I would probably give 1.5 page to QR and its relevance. 2 pages multi-disciplinary or pluralistic dimensions of geography, and half page for intro and conclusion. Elucidate means simplify, yaar, nothing, simplify. What is simplify? Give arguments, support it with points, data, fact, example. That's it. Job done. Is everyone okay? And I did not break the sentence mindlessly. I said QR is still relevant, but. So I'll say QR is relevance, but I'll establish but also. I will give 1 para to this. 1 para to but, and then my multidisciplinary approach will also come. Is everyone clear with this? You want to see how my answer would be? So this time I have 4 pages. I'm going to tell you a bad answer. A bad answer will say QR. QR. After this behavioral revolution, after this humanistic revolution, after this welfare, after this radical, after this postmodern, after this environment, content wise, absolutely right content. Right content, wrong answer. Because what is this? Do we get that? What is bad answer? What is bad answer? How are we able to catch you people that you are just writing whatever you have blindly copied from notes or books? Because you are not even reading the question. The question is clearly on, you have to analyze it very, very clearly. So, what will be a good answer? A good answer. At master stroke, we are looking at you as an individual, not as a भीड़ कि सब लोग ये छाप देना. First is the context of the question. QR was a milestone, but the world is complex and evolving. So, geography as a discipline is increasingly pluralist. Elucidate means simplify, no? So, QR was a milestone. QR was a milestone, but because the world is complex, evolving, so geography, which is the study of surface of earth, study of all man-nature relation, you can talk about this, all man-nature relations, since man-nature relations are transforming, various issues are coming in, geography dealing with them has become increasingly pluralistic. Job done. Simple language, hit the nail on the head without any bakwas. Oh no sir, मैंने तो बुक में पढ़ा था, आप ऐसे कह रहे हो. अबे बुक में पढ़ा कहीं भी पढ़ा, मेरा क्वेश्चन थोड़ी बुक से आया. Did I pick it from the book? It is not NCERT at the end of the NCERT, last question coming in. I have asked you a question, give me a question of that. If you are what you are talking about, what you are claiming to be, you will be answering that context. The QR milestone. One para. Second para. Bring a quote. Third para. Fourth para. Bring a QR model. Job done. What are you going to do? QR was important in various, I would say, universities, scholars, and making geography a spatial science. Very good. QR was important in giving tools and methods to geography. QR was important. QR gave laws and theories, and this law and this theory. QR has been applied in population geography, in migration studies, in human decision making, in hazard analysis. Please do that. Modern day QR is about GIS, it's about computers, it's about GPS, satellite imagery, and then you talk about that. Job done. QR. Have I given you every paragraph something to write on? QR is a milestone, academic milestone. Academic, philosophical, you can write positivism over here. Methodological, method. Laws and theories, outcomes or products. What were the products? We have these. Areas of inquiry or areas in which fields in which it was working and present. So QR is important. Have I established everyone? Everyone, if you are listening to me seriously, can I say spatial tradition continues to be a key part of the discipline of geography? Have I established this? Without doing all that natak. I will have, I can put in the works. I will put Tor Hagerstrand, space-time geography. I will put locational analysis by Peter Haggett. Why would I not do that? I will talk about William Bunge. I will be talking about the models on economic geography. Somebody said that economic triad. जो करना करो यार, बिल्कुल डालो यहाँ पे सारे नाम डालो. I am looking for it. I am waiting for it. There are students who will put that. But here I will say complexity. of man-nature interaction has called for geography to evolve into a pluralistic discipline dealing with human issues. How is it dealing with human issues? Humanistic geography and behavioral geography. Dealing with real world issues. In this comes social relevance movement. In this we have the radical geographers and we have the who are these welfare geographers. Real issues. Contemporary challenges. Ecological approach. Environmental issues. Developmental challenges. Have I given you some ideas in this also? And then what will I do? So my answer would be that nature of geography, spatial tradition versus a field of inquiry. This was a milestone. So number one, it was a milestone achievements, and number two is, as a field of inquiry, geography is much bigger. So it is pluralistic. So two parts of this question, post QR developments. So as a spatial one, how was it important? Why was it? What role it turned geography into a science? Study of spatial interactions happened into this. Locational theories came into geography. Yes. Study of spatial structure, central place theory, locational analysis, Peter Haggett, ये सब लिखना है. Everything. 5 elements in Peter Haggett, movement, network, node, hierarchy, surfaces, as I told you. ये तो उसमें भी पिछले में भी जा सकता था. But I told you the structure of the answer has to be decided first. The way I structured the answer, and then all this content will be there. This is all master stroke adding, adding to content. We are giving you content, but that doesn't mean that your answer is going to be this. Answer has to be decided first. Pluralistic field. Now after that, how is geography pluralistic? We became humanistic. So human consciousness and choice was the central role to man. Get that? People will talk about Kirk, we will talk about Tuan. We said study of landscape is the study of essence of societies which mold them. Please use these quotes. So humanistic geography, so we are looking at pluralistic field. Behavioral geography. It maintains strong ties with spatial tradition. We will do that. But it brings the psychological aspect of decision making. Patterns they produce in space, it is important. So space patterns. So behavioral geography did something. Then focus on man as one of the components of ecological web. So human ecology was there. Yes, here you can very well talk about Ernst Haeckel coming into this, T.S. Odum coming into this. Yes or no? Odum, Tansley, whatever comes to your mind, that has to come over here. Main focus is interaction. So we are studying the interaction. Get that? You can actually give spatial, real world examples. Say for example, economy, global economy. Yes, we are looking at development models. We are looking at conservation of wildlife, biodiversity, all is ecological approach, and you can very well use these words: environmentalism, Gaianism, neo-determinism, use them. So geography is looking at philosophically many things like that, and other things also happening in this. Yes. Then next focus is social justice and equality. Pluralistic. It is not just at model making, not just model making. What about people getting justice and equality? Stress is on who gets what, where, how. Radical geography, revolutionary theory, challenge the current socio-economic structure. Those structuralist ideas, that it is not just the idea but the structure which is controlling it. Pete and Harvey will come into this. And why not draw this? The geography is multi-paradigmatic, interdisciplinary in this. Geography has overlap with all. And in fact, here again you can bring in Kant. Kant said that it is not subject matter. It is studying everything in terms of space. So Kant said that we can't be just limited to a subject matter like mathematics or geography or geometry and physics. Kant rejected us. Kant said that geography is not a subject which is based on some area of inquiry. We pervade all subjects because we are studying everything vis-a-vis space. That's the conclusion. Multi-paradigmatic, interdisciplinary idea is the keystone of geographical epistemology. Spatial tradition continues to have an overarching presence in this. Is everyone okay? ये चाहिए था. Now, in discussions it looks, yeah, this is possible. Wow, easy. But when it comes to writing, we find people are seriously, each person has written to. Regional and spatial studies have become the mainstay of geography since its inception. Imagine, yaar, Strabo, Al-Biruni, Verenius, Kant, Ariel. See, I told you that trap, descriptive trap, no? नहीं चाहिए, इस क्वेश्चन का है नहीं, क्वेश्चन में चाहिए नहीं, बट डाला है तो डाला है. This has continued to be part of contemporary geographical QR tradition, geography as spatial science, crystallar hexagon. Now you will be very impressed. Oh wow, he has started like, अरे भाई, this is all description. The question is analysis. Question is analysis. Question has an opinion, but this person will just write everything. See, QR tradition is there. Von Thunen, crystallar, you are gone into this. This has given rise to new regional geography, idea of placelessness. अरे, how can placelessness come from QR? Guys? Or maybe I missed something. Okay, in between. Yeah, we make it. Achha. QR now rejected has taken place by humanistic. Space is not just location. Idea of place, idea of topophilia. I want to impress the examiner. I did not do justice to the first part of the question. QR has also not been justified, but I am writing this. This has given rise to new regional geography, idea of placelessness, critical regional geography. But these ideas does not form the sole paradigm. There are other compelling paradigms. Okay, what are these? Cultural turn, desecularization, welfare tradition. Guys, can you see that this person is just describing, and in fact he has just put the sequence of notes. Radical tradition, environmentalism, feminist geography. So spatial tradition still acting as a medium to study cultural landscape. Here I really don't understand everyone. Tell me one thing. So I put some water, yes, in a boiling water pan. I put some tea leaves and sugar. Everyone pay attention to this. I put some water, some tea leaves and sugar. When the tea leaves have boiled and the water has turned a little dark and I am heating them, boiling them, I put some milk, little bit of milk, and after that I allow it to boil twice, and then I say, after this, my birthday cake is ready. Won't you be surprised? I put water, I put tea leaves, I put sugar, I boil them, I add some milk, and I say, wow, my birthday cake is ready. He will say, sir, tea is ready, not birthday cake. So this guy was just describing whatever he got from the notes, and he says, so spatial tradition still acting as a medium to study cultural landscape. This is the conclusion. Imagine, guys. What was the question? Spatial tradition is important, but geography continues to be a pluralistic discipline. and this person is ending an. So spatial tradition still acting as medium to study cultural landscape. See, you will be impressed by these words: environmentalism, feminist geography, radical tradition, welfare, desecularization, placelessness, topophilia, and the diagrams also. See, I am not impressed here. I know geography. The examiner knows geography. He is not impressed. And when 10 people do the same thing, the examiner is really forced to first think that why are they doing that, and then he loses all respect for people who are doing that. Rest is up to you. Everyone, what marks would you give? Other people did not write this. The conclusion is also in front of you. With my structure, you said I can earn 11, 12. This person has described it. I hope you understand the difference now between description and analysis. Quickly, everyone, I want you to give marks so that we can move further to the next question this week. Dinu said this person will get 5. No, Dinu, this person will not get 5 because this is a 20-mark question. This person, such answers generally fetch 30%, 30 to 35%. So this person will get around 7 to 9 marks. 7 to 9 depending upon the examiner. So that is what the marks would be there. 35% is for this person. If the examiner is lenient, he can go for 40%, so that will make it 8. Because the question has not been answered, but yes, the space has been filled up. I hope all you are listening to me. My intention is not just to give you answers, my intention is also to give you the wisdom so that you can really create answers also and also know that what you will get in return. Get that?